Hey everyone, so in today's episode of Denise is a Hoarder, here are my Nuvo drops. This is a little, see how big this bin is. I love these things. And I saw that Christina posted them. So I don't know how many of you use them or know how to use them or think they're just like stickles, which kind of yes, kind of no. So I just wanted to come on and do a quick demo, show you how many colors they come in. And they do come in lots of different ways. I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of the stone finish, but that's just because I don't really use it on too many things. But I have to make a point to pull them out and try them because they're textured and they're really great. And I really should find a way to use them. And I bet it'll be on like the center of a flower or instead of pearls. And that's what I wanted to show you today. Just a quick video here. Excuse me, my cough is still here. I want to show you what they do in case you don't know. Now, I did start this before, so it's still wet. I don't want to pick it up so much. I hope that you can see it. I'm going to hold it up a little bit to the camera. Now, this is still a new camera setup, and so it still seems to be a little blurry. So I apologize if it is, whether this or down below on the thing. So let me try. I know it's all going to get everywhere, but let me try. Do you see that? Let me try that again. You see that dimension? That's not a camera flaw. That is the dimension of the Nuvos. Now, when they dry, they will flatten out a little bit. And this is on cardstock, just regular cardstock. A little thicker than Michael's, not like Copic thick. So you see how nice, I hope you can, I hope it's not too blurry. See how nice and rounded they are on the top? And I have different sizes. And again, let me go this way. Oh, there you can see the dimension, right? They are gonna flatten a little bit when they dry, but not completely. And this is the best part of them. They bring dimensional work to, or dimensional circles or whatever shape you want into your projects. So I used this one. I'm not sure which ones Christina has. This one is the Crystal Drops Autumn Red. I am going to use, just so you can see it here, the glitter drops, and this one happens to be Dazzling Blue. So you don't really have to shake it up. I think it's just a habit that I do. Here's how easy this is, and even I can do it. Most of the time it works, and if it works most of the time for me, it'll work every time for you because I am a savant when it comes to this stuff, and I don't mean that in a good way. People have different techniques. What I have found works best for me is I put it down and I squeeze a little bit. Now the first couple, I know like I'm just kind of giving it up and going, but you'll see that I have this little round circle here. So when you do this, I wonder if I can hold this up and do it here. You'll see that move for sure though. But your paper would be flat when you did it, so you don't have to worry about it moving and squishing because you would want to keep your paper flat. Otherwise it'll move around and you won't get that nice round edge. Now, if you look, I don't know if you can see it. It looks blurry to me. But if you look at the edges of the red, they're already starting to dry. I don't know if you can see there. So it will gonna take, I do leave them overnight. I will say that. And occasionally, because I have 2 cats, I'll find it with cat hair on it, which means I'm throwing it out. But I try to keep it in a place, even if I put it in an enclosed kind of box, like a shoebox or something, and I leave it that way so, you know, nothing blows on it, nothing gets to it, the cats don't walk on it. It'll dry, and it'll dry perfect with those. Now, I'm gonna show you the other way to do it after, but let's try it up here. So you see I have this down flat. So what I would do is I would go down, squeeze a little bit, and then push up. Now, I wouldn't be down on the paper, I'd be just over the paper, and I'm gonna squeeze, but I'm gonna push that nozzle into my dot. And you see that kind of peak that I get? That peak is gonna go away as it dries. There we go. See, like it's sort of peakish, but you see the other one isn't? It was before. Maybe the glitter isn't a great idea on the camera. So it kind of looks like a mountain, but it'll settle. And the beauty of this is I can make whatever size I want. I don't have to just do drops, but that's what I tend to do with them because I love them. I can do different sizes. Let's see if this comes out any better. So these are creamier. This is a glitter drop. This is navy blue. So you can see the difference maybe with how it came out. One is a little creamier looking and a little rounder-ish. But this takes a little bit of practice. So I push down, I pull up. I'm gonna get a peak, but that peak again is going to go away. And how much of a peak you get, how big of a size drop you want, again, all based on how much you put out of the bottle, as well as how close you get to the paper, you know, and just practice. But one of the things that I love best, not just that it's on cardstock and I can let it dry, but what I tend to do is this. Now you can do this on a silicone mat if you want to, anything that's non-porous. I do it on this simply because it's easy and I don't have to worry about my mat like rolling up, because I can put 2 bottles here and I'm good, right? I can do that with the mat, but my mat's a little thicker, and this I can just dispose of or snip up and put away, and I'm not using up my mat or like keeping it somewhere. So if I'm gonna make some of these, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. This is everyday regular wax paper. So I'm just gonna make a line of them. Now again, it's trial and error kind of with how they settle. These have peaks. This paper, because it's wax paper, I can't really pick up to show you because it'll flimsy everywhere, but it's the same thing. So you're going, see my thing, just down, right over the paper. I wouldn't push into the paper, down, oh, I have a clog. And that's it. And my red is actually working much better than my blue. And that's probably user error, because it usually is around here. Though this red does seem to be a little looser in that it's going into less of a peak almost immediately. So when I do these, let's take that glitter one back. When I do these, I'm gonna do them like as I know I want a project, or as I have a project ready. Now, I don't tend to do a lot of these in advance unless they're white or just like clear glitter, because that I use a lot, but color I would tend to wait on. Now, this is not working as well with the glitter for me, simply because it has glitter in it, so it's more of a stickle. So it wants to stick more to the neck of the bottle. So you can see maybe that they're kind of, the peaks are kind of falling over a little bit. If you see, like, this is here and not quite in a circle. Now I can, with my finger, with something else, maybe with the nozzle, I can try to push that back a little bit into a circle, because again, it's going to flatten overnight. So the glitter does take a little more practice. Well, for me, maybe not for you, but I think because it is thicker with the glitter, that's what happens, and it's not the same creamy consistency. You might have been able to see that one better. It's almost like a stand-up peak. So now what I would do with these is I would leave them at least overnight, let them dry. They say not to put them in a cold place or a place with a fan or something blowing on, because you would think that would make it dry easier, but they say that that can make them crack as they dry. I don't know, it's never happened to me, but then again, I've never put them in a fan, in front of a fan to dry, or like a windy or a damp place. So I'm gonna leave these overnight. And when I come back the next morning, depending on, you know, the heat and whatever, all those things are gonna play a difference. Because it's on wax paper and they're dry, I'm gonna be able to peel them off, and I've made my own pearls. I've made my own embellishments for cards, for layouts, for any kind of mixed media even I want to put on, and you're literally just gonna peel them off. You take them off the back, because it's wax paper, they're not gonna stick. Pop some glue on the back or on your project, some dries clear glue, and pop it right on, and there you go. So if you don't have the right color pearl, and you don't have the alcohol marker color that you want, because the alcohol markers can color those pearls, those white pearls. And if your marker is not giving you the coverage that you want on the pearl because of the finish on the pearl, and you don't want to use bling, which is usually easily covered by an alcohol marker, you know, it's really more of a pearl looking that you want, these are perfect. They're absolutely perfect. When I tell you I have this bin, I mean, no joke, I showed you the bin. Every time I go to my favorite store, my favorite local store in Pennsylvania, she's always got these, and I pick them up all the time, because otherwise I had to get them online, and I'd rather see them. But now that Christina has them, the colors are true to the picture. And if you're not local anyway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, online is online, and if you are local, you can still do the pickup option with Christina. You don't have to pay shipping, and you can order them right there. So apart from ordering them online, which almost never, unless it's a site that has them, they really almost never go on sale. And I've had these for a long time, and they're still fine. So they do last a while, and they're not like expiring or separating. So I hope that this gives you at least one idea of what to do with Nuvo drops, and maybe I'll have to come back with a few more things later on. In fact, maybe I'll try to leave these out to have them overnight, and maybe the next thing I do is show you what happens when they're dry. Stay tuned, we'll figure that out. Have a great day or night, depending on when you're watching. And if you've never tried Nuvo drops, I highly recommend them. Highly. I love them. And I think that you will too.